So YouTube, welcome back to another one of my videos. So today, you've read the title and you guys know it is my review of the albums from Emma Blackery's album club in February. So if you guys don't know, I actually spent most of February in Italy. I was in Bologna and there's going to be vlogs and stuff about that up on the channel. But because of that, I haven't actually got a chance to fully really listen to all these albums. I've listened to them all before I left and I've listened to them sporadically when I was away, but I haven't got a chance to like sit and properly review like the way I did last time. So this review is going to be slightly shorter. So this month, the album club included 3 albums. It was I Hope You Don't Mind Me Writing by Lucy Spraggan, On Hold by Fanny Lily, and Feel Something by a band called Moments. So before I ramble on too much, we're just going to jump in to the first album, which was I Hope You Don't Mind Me Writing by Lucy Spraggan. So I hadn't heard of Lucy prior to this, but I think it's really cool that this is actually a friend of Emma's and she's reviewing like a friend's album. So there's one thing that really stood out to me in this album, and it was the fact that Lucy actually sings with an accent. Because of this, it means that she has a really unusual voice. And it also, you know, seems to me with this album is that because she sings with this accent and it's very unusual, it seems like a more personal connection between, you know, the listener and the artist. I really liked how the album was also really raw and really honest. There was loads of emotional tracks in the album, for example, Dear You, All That I've Loved, and Hush Little Baby. Like, all of those songs are very emotional and hit me right here in the feels. The lyrics in this album, good lyrics is something I always look for in music, because like to me, you could have the best like beat in the world, but if your lyrics are shit, I'm not gonna like the song. That's just the way I am personally with music. The lyrics in this are really unique and extremely well written. I felt as though the album was very well produced. For me, it's always hard to find an album where you enjoy every song, and for this album, like, there was no songs on this album and I went, I'm not gonna listen to that again. So yeah, you know, this album is something that I will be coming back to. I think I've already added like the majority of these songs to my Music I Like playlist. If you haven't followed it, it's in the description below. So I rated this album a 9 out of 10, and my 3 favourite tracks from the album were Fight For It, Loaded Gun, and Puppy Dog Eyes. Fantastic album, please give it a listen. I 100% recommend it. So the next album that Emma, you know, put on this list for February was On Hold by Fanny Lily. Now this is an album that I actually recommended to Emma via Twitter. I think a lot of people have been recommending this album to Emma as well. It is probably one of my favourite albums of last year. It came out April last year. I found out about Fanny Lily when I went to see Dodie Clark or Dudlottle, she's known on YouTube as. I went to see her on tour and Fanny Lily was the support act. So the first time I heard any tracks by Fanny Lily, it was live. As I've said before like 100 times, I love acoustic stripped back music. It's the kind of thing that I tend to listen to when I'm traveling on a bus or traveling just to somewhere. So the lyrics in this album are incredible. It's like poetry, and I really love how the instruments are used. The thing about Fanny Lily's music is it's literally just her and her electric guitar. There's just something so simplistic about it, and like sometimes simple is effective, especially when it comes to music. I do think, you know, the lack of instruments that are used actually works in Fanny Lily's favour because of her unique voice. I agree with what Emma said about the album for being very melancholic, but that's personally something I love about the album rather than being something that I dislike about the album. To me, Fanny's vocals are hauntingly beautiful, and the tracks, again, very honest. I love honesty in music. Like, give me some of that raw honesty. Like, don't give me any of that cliche shit. Give me some raw, honest lyrics. That's the kind of shit I'm into. With this album, I don't feel like Fanny is holding anything back. I think this album is like she's poured everything into it. And there's a song specifically on this album called Brother that means a lot to me because it reminded me of the relationship that me and my brother used to have, and every time I listen to a song, even thinking of a song, every time I listen to a song, it hits me in the feels. I also think that this music is very cinematic. And the song 309 actually makes me think of a scene of like a scene from a short film that I have an idea for. I've said this before in like the last album club video, that sometimes when I listen to music I vision the music video or vision a scene for like a film where this song would fit, but I like cinematic music where I can picture a scene or something like that. It's just my media brain, it doesn't turn off. On Hold is another album that I like all the tracks from, and I would happily put the whole album on just to relax. So I give this album actually a rating 10 out of 10, which is the highest you can get. So Fanny Lily, you just got the highest. Also, just a quick note, I think the sun's went away. I think the lighting's changing in this video, but that's what I get for filming during the day. But my favourite tracks from this album are 309, Brother, and For a While. So the last album for the album club this month was Feel Something by a band called Moments. So as I've said before, I don't really like overly heavy music. However, I do like bands like Paramore and All Time Low, which sometimes their music does have like heavier elements. And I thought maybe this band would be similar. I thought this might be something I'm into. Spoiler alert, I'm not into it. I did not like this album. I didn't like the vocalist. It sounded like he's singing a cover of the songs. There's no emotion in it, and he's also quite shouty. However, I have to say that the instruments were used very well in this album, and it did fit the genre. There were some cool riffs, especially one at the end of a song called Deadly Dull, and there was some acoustic guitar in Fever Dream which sounded really awesome, and like a really soft guitar melody as well at the beginning of the track called Submerge. However, by track B on the album, which was called Colorblind, I just wanted this album to be over. I wasn't enjoying it. The album does get quite boring, and I did find it very hard to actually listen to the whole album. I didn't hear any lyrics that stood out to me specifically, and I agree with Emma when she said that the album wasn't very well produced. It's an album that I won't personally be coming back to because I just didn't gel with it. Obviously there's going to be some people out there going, no, I like that band, I like that album. Go enjoy that album. Go enjoy the music you like listening to. Personally, this just isn't my kind of thing. So I give this album a rating of 2 out of 10. However, I was only able to pick out 2 favourite tracks, which were Fever Dream and Submerge, just because again of that arrangement of instruments. But yeah, that is the album club for February. Thank you guys so much for watching this month's album club review. If you did enjoy it, please give a big thumbs up and those subscription up. And I'm also really sorry about how the fact the lighting has completely died. So I'm really underexposed. We will try and fix it in post. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.